A high official who, by the way, is a friend of mine, was recently telling me, I can't sleep at night. I have nightmares. I am in conflict of interest and I don't know what to do. How come you don't know, said I. Just declare and solve the conflict of interest. You kidding me? I worked here for a lifetime, right? And I have never had a single conflict with anybody and not a single violation. And now, there it is. Conflict of interest. What will other people say? What will my colleagues think about me? Oh, I hope this passes soon and maybe no one will find out. Stop. Wrong. It is not the conflict of interest as such that's illegal, just its materialization. But let's take one thing at a time. What is a conflict of interest and how does one get there? Any public agent can find himself in a situation of conflict of interest. Why? Well, because on one hand, there's the public interest that he is expected to serve. And on the other hand, a public agent has his own interest. For example, the interest in his own well-being and that of his family's. And this is a legitimate interest. In the end, the public agent is human too. He's got his own friends and relatives who could own firms or sometimes be members of a party. It is only natural for the public agent to wish all the best for himself and his loved ones. But what if the public interest is different from the personal one? Say, the public interest is of such manner that it expects the employing public agent to hire only the most competent ones, while his personal interest is to hire his relatives. The public interest requires for public procurement to be transparent, while his personal interest is to buy from his own company. That's when conflict of interest arises. Remember, conflict of interest is the situation in which the public agent has a personal interest that is interfering with the impartial and objective fulfillment of his duties. Personal is the direct interest of the public agent or of his close relatives. Husband, wife, partner, parent, brother, sister, grandparents, nephew, uncle, aunt, brother, sister or parent-in-law, daughter and son-in-law. And when he offers unlawful support to a friend, cousin, or even a further relative, the public agent commits an act of favoritism. You'll probably ask me, what should a public agent do when he finds himself in a conflict of interest situation? In a period of 3 days, he has to report in writing to the head of the institution the conflict of interest situation that has emerged and explain how it is interfering with the impartial and objective fulfillment of his duties. Attention! Public agents who have no managers in the public institution where they work, such as heads of institutions, ministers, locally elected officials and members of the parliament, will declare the conflict of interest to the National Integrity Authority. To avoid the materialization of the conflict of interest or of the situation of favoritism by refraining from his duties until the conflict of interest or the situation of favoritism is entirely solved. To identify, along with the head of the institution, or, if the case, with the National Integrity Authority, an appropriate way of resolving the conflict of interest. For example, to entrust his duties to another public agent. However, if the situation is likely to reappear, to order that another public agent is involved in all the future situations, but never the one who is in a conflict of interest. Failure to report the conflict of interest, the materialization of a conflict of interest, or committing acts of favoritism are punished by law. All the decisions taken and acts adopted in a situation of conflict of interest are void. And those who took advantage will have to return everything they've got in such a way. Because public agents serve the public interest, that of the entire society. When they give more importance to a personal interest, we should hold them accountable. Remember, integrity is freedom.